Hello and welcome back to the Board Book Geek. I'm the host, William James, and this is reading your comments. I want to say this video is going to be a positive one because most of the time I have a reputation for being a negative Nancy, but I hope you guys enjoy it. Like, subscribe for more, and let's start the show. First comment comes from Books and Things. I use Tumblr to look at photography and art mostly, but sometimes fandom drama slips through to my dashboard. Now Neil Gaiman is apparently a bigot for making Good Omens' main characters not explicitly gay, even though he wanted to keep it as faithful adaptation for his co-writer and friend. And why should he change a story with such great themes that's so witty? It's not about shipping for one moment. These people have serious brain rot. He has been kind on Tumblr and considered and constant headcanon being thrown at him. He's a good ally too. You can tell by his interactions. They try to comfort anyone. That is true. That is unbelievably true. I think it was Boston Books that started some drama over that because they don't understand what queerbaiting it. It's fun. It was funny. It shouldn't have been funny, but this is the thing. You cannot win with these people unless it's their head. Unless a writer sat down and wrote an individualized version of his novel for every single person, you are never going to make anyone happy. And also, in Good Omens, I want to say this: given the fact that most of the characters are supernatural, not even human, I don't think. I love Good Omens. I love his writing. It was funny, and these people are morons. Like, the brain rot is real, and just the sheer need to make drama for people. Now, these comments I found more funny. So I did a TikTok upload from here, and the sound was, YouTube is a strange place where people watch 10% of a video and then leave a comment that's not even about the video. Not about anything to do with it, and they try to have an intellectual discussion or leave some pseudo-intellectual, I have a university education comment. And it's like, but this isn't what the video is about. You didn't watch the video. I know you didn't watch the video. And these comments made me laugh because I think this has obviously got to be the same person. So it got weird, to say the least, on the subject. So the first one was, I watched the whole video. You need to take criticism and improve on it, not complain. Maybe because they get 10% through and hear something that's wrong, lose interest because you have lost credibility. Spelt wrong. Rather than take criticism and fact check or have Discord, you take it to heart, lose sight of the criticism, and you always disable comments or don't turn on the camera when you next share your thoughts. I'm going to clarify something here. I only delete comments that are either Chinese sex bots, because there are loads of them, personal attacks, like if you call me fat, ugly, insult my age, insult my gender, and insult my education, personal comments, like, I will delete those. And I've never actually blocked, well, I've blocked 2 people from my comments, ever. And they were trolls. They were absolute trolls. Usually, YouTube will not allow you to comment if your comments have been reported by people. So if you ever go on YouTube and you can see you can't comment on certain videos, it's because your comments have been reported by other people. I've never reported a comment either because YouTube does absolutely nothing about them. But I really, these have nothing to do with the video, what was saying, and they came out of nowhere, and it's really strange. Like, 10% of my video is an intro. Hi, my name's Will, I'm the Board Book Geek. That's all it is. And I don't get why this person is so upset that I don't always go on camera. Like, this is a thing. Audio over video is quicker. I don't have to set up lighting, I don't have to do rigs, I don't have to have my curtains open, I can leave my back cave nice and dark. And I don't have to do anything, I just have a microphone and I'll find some nice graphics. It's not that hard. It genuinely is not that hard. I do voiceover a lot of the time to save time, because I also find myself tripping over my words and editing takes forever, so at least with audio it's really quick. But these comments have nothing to do with the video, they have nothing to do with what was stated in the TikTok sound, and this person does not get sarcasm. Now, this is an interesting comment. Why do you agree with inclusion? The whole concept of inclusion is made up crap by a woke mob. Why does inclusion matter? Does anybody seriously watch something and care if the characters look like them? Does it make anybody relate anymore? I don't need Ripley to be a white male to relate to her. Relating to a character has nothing to do with appearance and biology. And that's the thing. I agree with you completely. Like, especially sort of race washing and race swapping characters and gender swapping characters, I find it a bit ridiculous, and I always say I'd rather they have an actor playing a role. And this was about the interview with Vampire thing on AMC. Like, in the video I state that I can imagine Claudia as a black child. Just because, poor child dying of plague. You can imagine that story relating to anyone. What I find interesting is what they've done with Louis and how, they've made him a pimp. But yeah, I don't necessarily agree with inclusion if it's forced. Like, there is a whole concept where it's forced, it's shoehorned in, and it doesn't feel right. For example, something set in 17th century London. Or, let's make Jane Austen gay. It doesn't work that way, and it can become across very artificial. Shoehorning, that's the phrase. Shoehorning stuff in just makes it feel more fake, and it also, I think, disconnects it. The only reason they bought the Anne Rice license was to make money. And that's very simple. And it's true. Relating to a character has nothing to do with their appearance or biology. That is 100% true. There are plenty of characters, male, female, black, white, straight, gay, Greek, Indian, that I relate to, that's nothing to do with anything other than the character. That's all it is. It's the character. Now, one of my favourite people. I always appreciate your comments. Thank you. Yep, typical. I'm becoming more and more anti-social media because honestly I'm tired of people whining. It's easy not to comment on something you don't agree with and move on with your life. I just watched two reviewers who loved a book that I absolutely hated and DNF'd, and guess what? I didn't comment negatively on their review. I didn't comment at all and I moved on with my life. This is a lesson I think people need to take. Sometimes I do believe in the fact that if you have nothing nice to say, sometimes it's better just to move on. There's always a block button, there's always, not interested option, there's always mute. I have a rule that I don't have a public opinion on anything that doesn't affect me directly. And that's probably why my Twitter account is literally just occasional videos and replies and retweets. I just don't feel the need to scream from a rooftop. I might disagree with a review, but you know what? You enjoyed it. That's what matters. That's all that mattered. That you enjoy something. Who gives a shit what other people think? And exactly. You don't have to leave comments. I love your comments, by the way. Keep it up. And I will also add, it can be interesting the level of whining and entitlement that you see from people on social media. The fabulous Iggy. If they were intelligent, they wouldn't bother arguing with a stranger on the internet. And you don't hate minorities. I lean left and don't want to live in an echo chamber. Nothing changes. Anything gets substantially worse outside of said echo chamber. If I don't agree with someone and want to engage, I try asking questions and work from there. Again, people need to learn this. If you don't agree with someone, instead of silencing them, cancelling them, reporting them, you don't have to agree with everything. Ask questions and have a civil conversation. But that does tend to be a lost art form now, which I find really sad. Civil conversation doesn't seem to exist. And, you see it with protesters. Instead of talking and having conversation, they scream. Literally, a bunch of 17-year-old kids screaming at someone. That's not going to help matters. That's not going to change anything. That's not going to have a point. It just makes you look unintelligent. And it's exactly there. Have a conversation with people. I don't want to be in an echo chamber. I always say it depends on what issue it is. Some issues I lean very left, some issues I lean very right. I tend to be quite central. And I've got people from every side of every discussion that I follow and engage with and talk to regularly. Some of them are very close friends. And this comment made me laugh. This one is funny. Thank you, Green Zip. I'm going to criticise the peanuts on this video about people not criticising the correct thing for what the criticism is about. Yeah! That's how it feels. I laugh sometimes that like sometimes I open social media and I go, what the hell? And I think it's true of everything. I do believe this. Like, if you want to have an opinion on a video, watch it. And I see this a lot on other people's videos as well. People comment and they leave this long intellectual comment that's actually not a bad comment, but it has nothing to do with the video, just like a title, or they've looked at the thumbnail. How do you know what you're talking about if you've not watched more than 5 seconds of an intro? You know, it's funny and true. And please comment again. I like your comment. I like your humour, man.